All right, 201. Is it? God. This is one of those spontaneous casts, but I'll do a countdown so we can start right away. Shit. Okay. Again, everybody
ready? Countdown in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Oh wow! Okay, that's an interesting process now. But this is the TMG podcast episode 201. I just know I like the fact you're directing it. Like I know this is actually more of a free form. This is already going to be part of the episode. It's fine. But you started at 10.
Yeah, man.
I love it. It's like it's been 7 years since this podcast first started, and it's like this is it took that long for it to get this professional. I fucking love it.
It took that long, for us to like instead of counting down to 5, we now counted down to 10, and we all just had we needed just Migs, which is here by the way on this episode. Hey Migs.
Hello, hi. Call me Houston.
And the one who's been talking since the start of this track is Carlos. That's me, and we have Matthew over.
Hello, guys.
We are now past the bump. This is 201. 201 episodes. Still going strong.
New milestone.
And we're also live on Facebook. Yeah.
Hello, Facebook. Hello, kids.
How is everybody? We
What's
are now
cool nowadays. Yeah.
Again, past the hump. Now in modified. What's that again? What's the quarantine name right now?
Modified Extended Community Quarantine Turbo Championship Edition.
Yeah, Championship Edition. We're really close to the game of the year already.
We're patch 2.89 right now.
Yeah,
I can't. Well, if our government keeps this up and is doing as well as it has been, we're gonna enter to Definitive Edition.
If it's going to be close to December, it's going to be GOTY material right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have this episode all about talking about video games, and we have a lot to talk about. Matt, you have something very specific you want to... Well, is it really to talk about or more of like a rant? Because it sounds like more of a rant. I'm going straight to the point. I'm going straight to the main meat. And you didn't even bother... haven't fully explained what's going on and why you're shaking and angry. And,
we just saw the group chat message.
We just saw you just like spamming the emotes like it's like you're really mad, or maybe I'm just over exaggerating this. What's going on?
I'm mad because we're not getting Titanfall. That's what I'm mad about.
Oh yeah, for sure. I am mad. We're not getting Titanfall. We're not getting new Titanfall. We're not getting new Skate. That's it, man.
We're getting Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2. You better be happy. Something's happening.
Of course. If it wasn't for that news, my year won't be complete.
You would have been also shaking in anger.
Yeah, for sure.
2 people shaking in anger.
Yeah.
Actually, Miguel, I really want to talk to you about Tony Hawk and Skate and all the skate-related stuff. So maybe we should put that, at the second half of the show.
Sure.
But definitely, I want to talk about like Titanfall. So. It's very common for us to see franchises fall in and out of favor and all that stuff. But I was just really disappointed to find out yesterday that Respawn Entertainment announced that they have no new Titanfall games in the works. And I'm like what? Like, that was my first reaction was like, what the heck? Because, I remember a couple of years ago after Titanfall 2 didn't do hot, but EA decided to acquire Respawn Entertainment.
Right.
Publications like VentureBeat made it very clear that Titanfall was still going to be a priority. While it was still exciting to hear that they were going to be doing that Star Wars game that they hadn't fully announced. There was still a clear investment in Titanfall in the form of a unannounced Titanfall 3, an unannounced Apex Legends, which was also unannounced and just dropped on us by surprise, by a pleasant surprise. Apex Legends, which briefly took over the battle royale genre and became like a really insanely popular. Still is popular now, not nearly as much as it was before, but an extension of the Titanfall universe. And we even had like Titanfall mobile games, and like, as everybody knows, Titanfall 2 did not, despite its critical acclaim and being well regarded not just by critics but by fans, even though it didn't do well commercially. Like Respawn was and EA were very clear about saying, oh, we're not gonna give up on Titanfall, and there was a sort of like silent understanding among all of us pundits that EA did Titanfall 2 dirty by releasing it in between Battlefield and Call of Duty. Like they did it dirty.
That was just that still hurts. Just like thinking, whenever I think about Titanfall 2, I just think about, so that's how a game gets stabbed in the back. Like, that's how it works. Okay.
Yeah, and I think most, like, the natural expectation is for that franchise to just go away, and the typical cycle of publishers just moving things around was expected. I mean, it's, for example, when Visceral Games released Dead Space 3 and Dead Space 3 didn't do so hot, it started pivoting to Battlefield Hardline and other stuff. Like EA has this history of messing with their companies and sort of like taking them away from the stuff that they seem to enjoy doing. And so, I was glad to hear that Titanfall would still be a priority, but also like not expecting it. And now today we get this week we get news that after Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was really successful, I think they said something like, EA even announced, they said, EA announces that we are going to make Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order a franchise. And I even paused for a moment. I was like, you need to announce that?
Wait. Where was it announced exactly? Was it a blog post, or like how was it officially announced? The process. I mean, that there's nothing to look forward to in the Titanfall franchise right now.
It was announced in an interview with IGN. The whole no Titanfall games in the works. It was announced when IGN interviewed Respawn Entertainment to celebrate their 10th anniversary.
God, they've been 10. Okay.
Yeah, and hopes for the Titanfall franchise were presumed by most of us in the press and in the fans, because EA top dog Andrew Wilson, he of the scary blue eyes, actually told us that a Titanfall in-universe game was going to be released in 2019. Yeah, and that didn't happen, and that's fine. It's like, okay, so, video game release dates tend to slip back and forth. No big deal. And I think...
So technically... sorry, go ahead.
No, you had a question.
No, I'm just saying, so technically they just pretty much, by them saying that in the interview, they just pretty much, they wanted to squash any expectations because that's what the pipeline currently looks like.
Yeah, I get it. I get that.
They got the opportunity to say this, and then, here we go. Here goes a bumpy ride.
Yeah, I get that pipelines change and expectations change as things become unsuccessful and successful. But I was talking to my wife about it over breakfast, and the image that comes across to me is that I understand now why people really, really get upset about EA, is that they sort of like pretend that they're in a collaborative environment with the studios they own, but completely do not listen to them. And then when it becomes convenient, start listening to them. For example, EA was the company that said, okay, we don't care if you think this release date is bad, we're sticking to it. And I remember Vince Zampella, founder of Respawn, he visibly like rolled his eyes at an interview when someone asked him about that. He was like, "You got to ask EA about that. I don't know what the fuck that's about the release date." Like he was willing to drop that kind of shade, and then, and then when Respawn wanted to do a Star Wars game, there was resistance in EA because even though EA owns the Star Wars license, they're kind of like, now we'll give it to DICE, we'll give it to our best, our favorite, our studios. You guys at Respawn want to pitch a Star Wars game? Yeah, good luck with that. And then even LucasArts Entertainment was like not keen on the idea. I think you guys know about this. Like LucasArts didn't want Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, or what was going to become Jedi Fallen Order. They didn't want it to be a lightsaber game. They didn't want it to be a Force Powers game. They kind of had to be convinced about that. And it just feels like EA doesn't have Respawn's back whenever it's whenever it comes to creative ideas. But in the moment something takes off, suddenly like, oh, we support you, like, and that's what it looks like when they say, go ahead with your Jedi Fallen Order sequel, but we're going to like, and we'll pretend that we support Titanfall, especially when Apex Legends became incredibly successful. Like Apex Legends was just an experiment, it was like a small experiment that nobody really cared about, and okay, you know what? I'll give credit to EA. Like EA gave them the creative freedom to make Apex Legends happen. You know what I mean? Like they were allowed to.
So Apex Legends and possibly a Fallen Order franchise. That's all we can expect from Respawn Entertainment at the moment. They're pretty much putting more weight to their successful franchise. Titanfall didn't do so well. I was about to say, I'm saying Titanfall was a failure. It kind of did have a hard time, actually. So,
I mean, if you think about it, Apex Legends is basically
it's part of the
what
universe.
Respawn can give us right now that is related to Titanfall.
It is part of the universe, right? The Apex Legends.
It is within the Titanfall universe, and it's doing well. So I think it's pretty much a given that this is going to be the direction that they're going for in the future. That it's going to be we're going to support Apex Legends more because it's a tried and true formula. It's popular within people.
Yeah, and it's what I think is, despite my complaining and grousing, I'm glad that, for example, Respawn they established a separate studio to support Apex Legends. Like there's a team of people inside Respawn, like I think 30 or 40 of them that they split off into sort of like Respawn, parenthesis Apex Legends edition that is going to be committed to Apex. And I think that's cool that they have that, you know what I mean?
But we need
strong. Apex is pretty strong. They're at season 5 right now.
We need Titans
in terms of content.
But Apex is like, it's not I wanna say that Apex Legends is really an extension of the Titanfall universe, and not just because they said so, and not just because there are robots in it, but things like Hammond Robotics, the IMC, like key parts of the Titanfall universe and lore are actually part of the Apex Legends universe.
Right.
Yeah. For those people who care about that kind of thing. But it's just like it's just really disappointing to hear that Respawn is pivoting completely to Star Wars. And I get it. I'm sure they want to do it. I
just don't get those kinds of responses saying that there's nothing. Like I don't see the benefit of saying that, oh, we don't have anything planned. Yeah. It's not like, unless you can correct me if I'm wrong, if they had, we might just have a Titanfall game somewhere in a few years, unless they were trying to remove those kinds of comments they had previously. I don't see any reason why they have to state, we have nothing planned. Like, I don't see why you have to say it. Like, you can just keep it there floating. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, it's better to say that we're doing something else aside, rather than now we have nothing planned for this franchise.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Like, why can't you just be Mr. Deflect for now? Like you can just put it up in the air. Like, why not? Like, people have done it for years. Like, look at Kingdom Hearts. Jesus, you know what I mean?
I get it. I get it, Carlos.
So it's very weird move.
There. Yeah. Like there's no speculating things that we don't really know about. But I think my suspicion here then is that they want to downplay the Titanfall universe and upsell the Star Wars stuff and upsell the Apex Legends stuff, because this reflects this reflects positively on their value as a company. Because remember, EA is still a publicly traded company, and if you want people to really believe, if they want their shareholders or people in the stock market to really believe that the company is going to grow in terms of value, then telling them that, hey, a bunch of successful things we're gonna make even more successful. You know what I mean?
What was the review score we gave Fallen Order? Let me see. 7.
We gave it a 7. We gave it a 7 out of 10. Yeah.
I remember Miggy had a lot of issues about that game.
Yeah.
It was fun still.
Yeah. And so that's really all I have to say today. I mean, I could like get a bit nitpickier about it, but it's just, I think it just sucks that there's this illusion of collaboration, but EA is quietly only supporting the things that it conveniently deems to be worth supporting, while sort of kind of like saying, you have the creative freedom to do anything, but we won't support you unless it's convenient for us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they won't, there's no, you cannot tell me that Apex Legends was an EA project, and the moment it became incredibly successful, EA was like rah 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 sis boom bar, really behind it, and I get that, but it just feels like that support from the parent company is only coming like whenever it feels like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's just like it makes sense to say it right now, like instead of just like hyping it up, but we'll have to see. Because I like, it's just words right now, like just like Star Wars universe, like what does that mean? Like, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. But it's good to see that Respawn. No, actually, it's good. I hope I see Respawn Entertainment actually find more creative freedom down the line, to make their own, like another Titanfall or maybe another project that they could just give a good twist. Like I think, okay, like as much as Fallen Order has its own issues and everything, it did have a decent twist for those looking for something in Star Wars universe. So Respawn has that kind of accolades. So hopefully EA doesn't put those shackles on them, like keep making Cal's universe bigger. And
I mean, look, for all the problems that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order had mechanically and from technical standpoint, there is something to grow from there. And I'm very like, I never rule out a game based on the first installment. I always feel like, like Jedi Fallen Order, there's something here. It's not all there, but there's something here, and I can't wait to see the sequel, because I want to see what happens when Respawn like really takes it to a place where they're firing on all cylinders. Like that when we see that magical ultimate edition of their vision realized, I think it's going to be incredible.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see. That's sad to hear about Titanfall, but it is what it is so far. But I'll definitely check it out and see what they, I'll keep that noted and see how that progresses in the future. Speaking of like rants, like you mentioned a while ago, Migs, we'll go to the other publisher, or no, not really the other publisher, but Activision, what?
Oh, I don't have any beef with Activision.
No, I'm not talking about beef. I'm actually going to the other side. I'm just saying that.
I mean, like, Activision saved my year of.
Is it really a save? Because what they announced, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2.
Well, that's a start, I guess. But yeah, they did announce a remaster of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, and well, it's a remaster. Like they redo the
remake or a remaster. I don't even know the difference anymore, because they did an HD collection
it's a remaster. They redo a lot of models and textures, and they even have like old versions of the skaters available if you want like Tony Hawk to be old or the other pro skaters to be old. But it's basically like Tony Hawk 1 and 2. So it's exciting because they added online play and other features that aren't in the game before. So,
but I'm more interested in why you're so excited for a skating game, though.
It's been a long time, dude. Like every year, yeah, dude.
Okay, you know what?
Every year, EA's been disappointing us that they're not.
Because you were like, I remember like
skate
back
game.
in the E3 days, like if they announce Skate, you're gonna like what?
Yeah, dude, I'm
blow
gonna
up
be a happy
building
man
or something. Like, huh? You're gonna be a happy man.
Yeah, if they don't announce Skate, I'm gonna riot or something. 'Cause that
I'm
that
gonna
franchise.
have Miguel's back in this one.
Sorry,
I'm gonna have Miguel's back on this one. I have to say, because because I don't think skating games happen as often as we'd like. And I say this as someone who doesn't play any of them, but I know people love to dunk on the whole thing because it's a very like Tony Hawk and the skating and all the skating games have their super passionate fans, but it's easy to dunk on them just because there's it's a very weird genre. It's a very specialist genre. It's not like Need for Speed. It's not like FIFA or whatever or any of those things. And I think the genre has been done dirty enough that we kind of like really wait for a really good game to come out every one of them. Like, when was the last really good skating game, Miguel?
I don't even know.
I don't even know. Like, I think Skate 3 was the last skate game, and it was like
unless someone can like
ago.
Fresh, remind us. I mean, it's been so long. Actually,
there are a few new indie skate games, like the 2D ones, like Ollie. But this is not really like a real skate sim. But there are also smaller games from developers like Sessions or Skate XL,
Sessions.
I think.
I
Which are
think
both available on Steam, but as a franchise, like Skate hasn't been showing up, and like it needs that much love.
It's been like 10 years since the last Skate game.
Yeah.
Like a proper skate game.
Yeah, it's I don't know, like it's probably the gameplay that has me hooked, because that's one of the most unique skate games that I've ever played. Like, compared it to Tony Hawk, which is more of an arcade like
I'd like to
point
think
scoring game. Skate is something different. It's more, I don't know, it's more free form, I guess, if you kind of look at it or something.
I'd like to think though that like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2, which by the way is a weird title. I don't know why you have to put math into the title, but this is Activision. I think it's one of those like deals where let's make a remaster, see how people react to it. If people actually want a skate game, maybe we'll make something else Tony Hawk. Like, I'm sure Tony Hawk's like gripping at that franchise and not letting it go.
Oh yeah, I mean that's probably his passion project. This is because it's been a long time since a Tony Hawk game.
If you want to make a modern like new skate game, you can just pretty much borrow the notes of like how other sports games have it, like a career mode or a story mode or whatever bullshit like that. And it's just weird that they actually play the first 2 games content over and over again in 4K. Like, okay, cool,
Well, I can only theorize this. Before I move on, before I go on, Miguel, did you hear about what Jason Dill had to say about Skate?
No, not really.
So skateboarder Jason Dill was asked to lend his likeness and to do some stuff for Skate Mobile or something, but so there's a mobile spin-off version for Skate. And he said,
"Why? No.
It's a different thing, though."
Yeah, and he said like, I think I'm not sure if he turned it down or if he did it anyway, but he basically like told the EA guys like, no fucking man, like, give us Skate 4.
Yeah. See, he knows.
He dissed the Skate Mobile, saying, "Give us a real skate game."
Seriously, like, if you ever tried the Skate series, like even the latest one, it's very different. Like, you'll be, I don't know, appalled by the changes on the controls if you're used to the Tony Hawk control scheme. So it's a very new experience compared to the Tony Hawk series.
Here, I can read it to you. I can read it to you, Miguel. So basically, okay, so the game's not out yet, apparently. So EA called former pro skateboard dude Jason Dill, and he was like, I got a call from the EA people about 10 months ago, and they said, "Hey, we want to talk about the Skate game." And I said, "That's fine." And they said, basically, "We want to do a mobile version of Skate 3. And I wrote back, and I said, "What else?" And she wrote back, "No, that's it." And he wrote back, and he said, I wrote back, and I said, "Hey, no big deal, but nobody wants your stupid mobile version of Skate 3.
Exactly.
Make Skate fucking 4 already. Just, do it." just make the game and participate again. You can't level up to the same numbers you get in other games. You do it for a cultural thing that pays you back later. And that's what he said.
Oh god!
Like, how do you make a skate game for mobile? Like, it's just,
I don't know, man. That's the thing. Like, remember the DS game? I like the DS skate game where it has this crazy peripheral, like a fingerboard.
Actually, I was thinking I actually can think of it already. Yeah.
Miguel. I was thinking that maybe it's a fingerboard, except your phone is the fingerboard.
Oh,
and then,
no!
Yeah. And then you break your phone. That would be great.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I still stand by it. We need a skate. I mean, we need a new skate game. Like, it's a long time coming.
I don't even care, and I want skate fans to have a skate game. You know what I mean?
Maybe I'll give it a try, because like even Miggy in the comment was like saying why, like a few minutes ago, like saying, why am I not excited for a skate game? Like,
yeah,
it's around the same, like, okay, just blame me for me being the way I am right now, but it's the same of like, yeah, I'm just not excited for like NBA 2K20. Like it's just
oh yeah, that
the same
one,
demeanor.
Yeah, it's a hard sell right now.
Yeah,
it's because you're old, Carlos.
I am old. I am very old. I'm wise. I like to say wise.
Yeah, you're old, and Miguel and I are young and hip.
Sure, yeah.
The oldest one, of course, points that out. Of course.
Yep. That's
okay. Moving.
That's the joke.
That is the joke, and we're gonna move on. Let's talk about video games we've been playing recently.
Sure.
We've been in ultra modified enhanced community quarantine for quite a while. Well, not quite a while. It was just last week, actually.
Yeah.
But we've been stuck in our houses for quite a while, and it's getting a bit messy or confusing.
Well, I want to hear about this game you've been playing called The Legends of Runeterra.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. It's like the best option for me once I start commuting. That's the best way I can short. Was that?
Oh, joke's on you, Loss. You're just at home.
I know. No, but it's a good card game. It's a game that I've been looking forward to simply because I really wanted to replace Hearthstone for the longest time already.
Yeah.
I wanted a card game. I just wanted a card game on my mobile or on PC, either or. And Legends of Runeterra seemed to be a perfect fit. It launched in May or April 30, I think. And I've been playing ever since, and I pretty much love it.
Sell me on the game, bro, because every time I read about these new games, like the auto chess phenomenon, and I read about like the Mobile Legends and and the Magic the Gathering stuff, I try getting into them, and I feel perennially like out of step whenever I try to give it a whirl. And so I'm hearing about this Legend of Runeterra, and they're like, "Oh, guys, you gotta try it. It's a card game that also has a story and characters." And I'm like, "Oh, really? I'm very interested." But I'm worried that the moment I install it, I'm gonna bounce off of it.
It doesn't have a story. It's just a card game. I don't know who said it has a story. It just has a series of challenges. It has a competitive edge. It's just Riot Games' move to expand their space, because they're more of a MOBA space. Now they have like Valorant going against CSGO for the esports side or shooter side, and now they're also going after card games, and that's just what it is.
And I think they're making an animated series too, and a bunch of other stuff.
It's just like Legends of Runeterra is just like the first wave of Riot ruling the world. That's pretty much what's happening. And I'm playing Legends of Runeterra, and it's just scratching every single itch that Hearthstone used to. Is that because in my history, I played Magic when I was a kid, and I've always loved playing cards. And when Hearthstone came out, I was excited. I have no affiliation with League of Legends whatsoever. I just played a couple of games when it was in beta just to try it out. So I'm not a fan of that MOBA. So it's not about the lore. It's more about, hey, it feels like Magic and Hearthstone combined. That's how I think of it. It's fast paced.
What's the distinguishing factor for you? Because I know you play a shit ton of card games.
It feels like Magic. I can react upon something happening, whereas in Hearthstone you have to wait your turn and just you just have to wait. You just have to wait like, oh, he's doing this all, and I have to wait for my turn to react. Here, if you cast a spell, I could cast a spell that could actually ruin what you're planning to do. Like stuff like that. That's why I love Magic. And they married that concept into Legends of Runeterra, and it's actually pretty satisfying. And to top it all off, I think it's one of the most generous free-to-play titles that is a card game. Like, I haven't spent a penny yet, and I'm still pretty good.
You don't actually buy packs from this game. Like, they have a different system of getting cards instead of like buying packs. They have some sort of like a progressive tree, or
you can
a
buy
progressive
wild
experience
cards.
tree.
Let's put that out there right away. You can buy wild cards
for sure.
So there's still an option to buy it, but they don't have the traditional open packs or AKA loot boxes to find a random amount. Was that? They can actually, like, all your progress or experience that you earn you can pick on a specific type of cards you want to earn. And if you want to get a specific card, you can use the wild cards, which is like you transforming that specific wild card into anything you want. So I'm not succumbing to the will of RNG gods at all. Right. I'm just like, there is an extent of it, but I'm more in control of what I'm going to earn and what I can build. And that's what's pulling me further, like, every single day. So
I think you can also craft cards via like another currency or like another resource, like crystals from like similar to Gwent. So you have that kind of combination of getting wild cards and crafting resource. Yeah. So that's a good bonus.
So it's very friendly. I think Riot Games said that they're not selling packs simply because they want to keep everybody in a competitive level, because they don't want, like, all of a sudden we have like 5 or 10% of players, like, they have all the cards because they just spent everything.
Yeah, I think the microtransaction store they have is only for cosmetic items like emotes and play mats and card backs, but nothing for the cards or for the actual
just game. Wild cards.
Yeah, just wild cards.
Which is like limit. I remember before they were saying in beta they actually limited it, like you only buy 3 rares on a specific week. So they're trying to control like the competitive level within the community, because they didn't want all of a sudden that the ones who are on top of the rankings, like, they have all the cards, and then there you go. So it's very easy to get into. Yeah.
So we got Rafi in the chat right now. He's saying, like, in the stream chat, he said, in many ways they have features that I wish Magic Arena had, like voice lines and cool interactions between cards, and personality. Haha.
Yes, they have a lot of personality, and I think every champion, whenever, because they've a level up mechanic for these champions, and they really animated once they level up, and every single like ally or champion have some kind of like small little banter between them, right? And it's actually pretty cool. So it does have personality. Rafi is actually on point in that one.
Because in MTG Arena, you only get a few voice lines from the planeswalkers, and it's seldom used in the game. Whereas here in Runeterra, not only this personality was shown through the characters' like level up animations or voice lines, but the emotes are actually a good feature. Where
the emotes change for character.
You can equip and buy emotes, and the emotes
emotes are just stickers.
Yeah, emotes are like Facebook stickers in this game, so they animate, like they do some cool animations whenever you use the emote. So it has more personality than MTGA for sure.
I kind of have this vision in my head now of like you said, because the hero cards talk to each other, and I keep thinking that when they meet on the battlefield, they're like characters from another realm game,
No. Here's a scenario. No, here's a scenario to give you a picture. Like, there's a card or a character called Garen, right? And so you put him in play, and he's there. And then there's this one to cast character. I forgot her name, but it's like a rookie. She's like a rookie, very small character. And when you play her beside Garen, she starts saying, "Oh my God, it's you!" Like those kinds of reactions. And then Garen actually is like, "Hello, recruit," and stuff that kind of interactions happen. And then when they attack, and when they both attack, like, come recruit, let's do it. They put on stuff like that. But they have stuff like that.
Cool.
And oh yeah, I actually just finished up my review and everything, so I'll be out this week. And
you got a review coming up. Cool.
Yeah, it's already done. I just have to fix up the screenshots and everything, but it's definitely a good option if you're looking for a new card game.
Also, one good factor that puts Legends of Runeterra ahead of its competition when it comes to card games is it's like specifically ahead of Magic the Gathering Arena is that they have crossplay. So that's already a win for Runeterra. Like you can match with people playing on the mobile or on the PC or vice versa.
Yeah, Arena doesn't have a mobile version yet.
Yeah.
So it feels like when Legends of Runeterra came out, they are really like trying to go toe to toe with Hearthstone, because Hearthstone is one of the top dogs in terms of this genre, and Hearthstone also has very animated characters. They're very, vocal, very well-known world, and they also have crossplay. So they're somewhat in the same competitive level in terms of features. We'll just have to. The only thing that has Hearthstone ahead is that developers know how to balance their cards, and they've known how to support it. Legends of Runeterra, we don't know how they're going to do it. It's been only a month. We don't know how the cards will evolve, how the meta is going to evolve, or how they're going to further balance everything together. So we're going to have a clear picture if this is actually going to succeed in a competitive level, maybe around 6 months to a year down the line, once we have a whole season of just people competing, people playing, and doing all the works.
Cool.
And that's one of the things I've been playing, but I don't want to be the one talking most of the time. What have you guys been doing recently? We've obviously we've been playing because we've just been stuck in our houses trying to do what we can.
Well, I'm not sure if Miguel, do you have is there something you've been playing lately, or are you still shopping around in the Epic Store?
Yeah, I've been playing a few games during the quarantine. Well, during last week and the last 2 weeks, since I'm out I think I haven't been here in one episode. So I've been playing Streets of Rage 4 when it came out. So I finished it.
That game with infinite combos.
I like how you went from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. I've been playing Streets of Rage 4, and I finished it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the most important thing, right? I know. But yeah.
I've succeeded.
But Carlos mentioned about this game having infinites is that it's related to this crazy clip that FGC dude Justin Wong posted on Twitter, which basically captures him doing exploits on the game. So it's just combos and infinites on this boss rush mode. So that's pretty cool to actually watch. But yes, Streets of Rage 4. It's a classic. Well, it's a brawler. So if you like brawlers, if you like classic brawlers like Double Dragon or the actual Streets of Rage series, then you'll love this.
Did you actually because this was less than 500 pesos? Were you actually happy with what they did with this one, or are you just
this is developed by the same guys who did the Wonder Boy Dragons.
It's just
Double Dragon
remake.
Is it Way Forward or something?
It's a Lizard Cube game. So it's developed by Lizard Cube, and these are the same guys who did the Wonder Boy game for Steam. The remake where it's mostly hand drawn and animated well.
Yeah, that game is beautiful. Yeah, I think you're talking about Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap. Which is based on a lesser known Super Nintendo game or Nintendo game, and then
this developer had 2 games. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was it was pixelated and all that stuff, but he really made it shine into I want to give that game a try because it looks freaking beautiful.
It's always in my wish list. I just forgot to buy it. But
yeah,
in the case
adding
of
to wish list.
in the case of Streets of Rage 4, so they made the game with a very stylized art direction, and it works. So it's more like a comic book video game, I guess. Like it looks really beautiful, and it's animating really well when I played it. And I don't know.
I have to admit, I got confused by the Streets of Rage 4 release, because I thought when it came out, I was like, didn't they release this already? Like, wasn't it like...
I had the same reaction, actually.
But then I remembered, I might be confusing it with Double Dragon Neon from like nearly a decade ago.
That's also another, like, I guess you could compare that game to Streets of Rage 4, but this one, this is, I guess, way better, I guess. When I played it during the weekend, I finished it with a friend of mine. So we did online play. And first I played it with Rafi, and we did it.
I was actually on call with that one. We were actually on Discord when it was up. Like, I remember you even saying that, oh shit, I bought the game. And then an hour later you're playing with Rafi. But yeah.
Oh yeah. Because we're trying to do like games that can enable remote play, and we want to test it if we can like play it smoothly, and it kind of works.
Through the interwebs.
So yeah, we did play Streets of Rage for a bit, and then that campaign continued with my other friend, and I know like it's fun. Like, it's a fun multiplayer game. Like I said, it's classic side scroll brawler like Final Fight or Streets of Rage, and it's also challenging. Like, if you remember how hard these games are back in the day, and if you're going to just try and play it right now in this era, so it might pose a challenge for you. And what the game does also is that you think that if you're going to play it with 3 other friends, it might be easier. Nope, the game actually scales the difficulty depending on how many players are playing. Like, there's this one boss where me and my friend were having a hard time beating, because it's the boss spawns ads or additional hostile characters.
Hostile thugs.
Yeah, hostile thugs. And there's this one bit before going to the boss where I'm the only one who survived during the game. And when I went into the boss fight, I only get to fight the boss and not the ads. Like, the ads aren't showing up. So they do scale the difficulty by adding more elements, like additional enemies for you to fight, or additional skills that the boss will use. So it's a fun and challenging game, actually, to play with your friends.
How long did it take for you to finish the Rage of Streets 4?
I can tell you how long it took him.
Oh shit!
Oh Jesus Christ!
Okay, go ahead. Like, Matthew the Stalker Arcelia is on it. We will find out how long Migs finished Street of Rage 4 once he's checked the Steam profile.
His total playtime is 6.8 hours, minus dicking around or dying or whatever. It took him about 6.8 hours.
Yeah, I guess that's accurate. Like, there's
plus the dicking around. I mean, like,
yeah. I mean, we're doing some, like, after beating the game, we're playing boss battles or boss rush mode, and I'm trying to do some, I'm trying to test the versus mode, because this game also has a versus mode where you can brawl with your friends. So it's mostly 5. You can finish this. Maybe you can finish it in under 5 hours for sure. Like, if you know what you're doing.
I think I'll give it a shot, because, like, you know what,
it's pretty dang cheap.
Let's make my nephew like experience the Rage of Streets.
The Rage of Streets.
The Rage of Streets. Yeah.
The raging streets.
Mm-hmm. The raging streets of
fours.
Like
also for brawler, it's kind of deep. Like, since you've seen the Justin Wong videos, like you can actually pull off combos and juggles because your characters have abilities and moves, like they have their own moveset.
It's just I just think it's just unusual. I bet the developers, when they saw that video of like Justin Wong doing Infinite, were like, that's not how the game works.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look, let the guy die. He just wants to go hit the floor and just disappear like any other NPC. Like no, but yeah, Street of Rage is actually pretty cool. It came out just recently, and yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Last but not least, before we actually end with that, Matt, you've been playing GTA 5, and I actually want to mention GTA 5 because I also want to also mention the day Epic Game Store was silent or died or shut down, whichever said, and that was because when did GTA 5?
I can tee this up for you.
Go ahead.
So basically, as everybody knows, for the past year, ever since this Epic Games launcher or Game Store launched, they've been giving away free games, every 2 weeks or every week or whatever.
I know, every week. I have a library of backlog that I never thought I had.
So I know I have about 81 games that I've claimed from the Epic Game Store for free, and those are only the ones I remember to claim. I think I might have missed maybe 5 to 10 of them at most. So
how do you count? What did you count them manually? Is there like a total list?
I did. Oh, you counted them manually.
I don't want to do that to me. Okay.
Excuse me. I counted the columns, then I counted the rows, then I multiplied them to each other.
The math way.
Okay, fine. You can do better than me in counting. I get it. Jesus.
It's called arithmetic.
I don't know how arithmetic works. So sorry.
Well, no. So just to cut to the chase on that one, and they occasionally Epic will announce a big game that's been given away, and this was a biggie. They announced that Grand Theft Auto 5 would be free for anybody who logged into the Epic Game Store and claimed it. And because of everybody loves Grand Theft Auto 5, it's an insanely popular game. People rushed in to, and not everybody has it on PC. Everybody rushed in to claim it, and it brought the servers of the Epic Game Store to its knees. I think what was funny is that for some of the people who could log into the Epic Store during that time, if you logged in, you would get the wrong language or something. So when I logged in,
oh wow,
I had German. I had German language.
What the hell?
I got German too. I mean, I can read a little German, so that was okay. But but otherwise,
oh, so what? The German was like server down QQ.
Oh no!
No, but that was funny because I was actually about to sleep, and I was looking at my Facebook, and I was like, GTA 5, other outlets were announcing GTA 5 was already free in Epic Games. Like, oh shit, that's not going to be good.
Yeah, I know, right? And I'm sure you know me. I dunk on this kind of shit all the time. I was like, I thought you guys all hated the Epic Game Store. What are you all doing trying to claim Grand Theft Auto 5 on a platform you all say you hate?
Because their views don't matter once they get something free.
Oh yeah,
I know,
for
right?
sure.
I know, right? And but
your views just go out the window once you get that.
And the other thing that's wild, I think, and that speaks positively to Grand Theft Auto 5 is that the game is 7 years old, guys. Can you believe it's 7 years old? And it's made $6 billion in revenue. It's been sold on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4,
PS Vita. Sorry, I was wrong. Never mind. Sorry.
On Steam, and for some reason there still exist people who want to, who need to get a copy. You know what I mean? I'm not shaving it. I'm saying it's anybody who played it on the original 7th generation release is loves that loves that game enough to play it on PC again. And if they missed it on Steam, they came to the Epic Store for it.
They don't want, from what I understand, they don't want to play the campaign again. Or maybe there's a small percentage of people want to play the campaign again on PC. But I think it's more of the online because people love playing role playing, playing a cop, playing a rob,
for sure.
That's nuts. That's the reason why Rockstar can only make a game every 5 years because GTA's got the bill. They're good.
That's absolutely true. Like when we speak of GTA 5, for the purposes of our conversation, we're not just talking about the campaign mode. We're talking about the entire product, which is of course GTA GTA Online, and as you just said, like people RP the hell out of that game. Like there are people who deliver food, people who act as doctors, people who do all sorts of crazy stuff, pretending to be like mild-mannered NPCs in the game, or huge gangs and stuff like that. And I think it's super cool. And let's not forget also there's that directors club. There are lots of people who spend oodles of time in GTA 5 not playing the game but making fan films.
That's a movie maker inside Grand Theft Auto.
They have shit like that. I mean, like seriously.
Yeah, sort of like
I remember
what's in Steam?
Avengers Endgame was Avengers Infinity War was about to come out. Somebody tried to recreate the Avengers Infinity War trailer using Grand Theft Auto assets. And all sorts of stuff like that.
No, but it's just insane. Like, I think the whole world. Like, it's funny. I think the whole world now has GTA 5 at this point because they turned off for Epic Games servers. I'd like to think it's hard to do. They're not a small company.
Is it true? Is it true that people are complaining that they can't refund their old copy of the game now because it's free?
I don't know if that's true. I hope not. That sounds incredibly stupid.
That would be hilarious.
That sounds incredibly stupid. There's got to be like a 0.001% of people that just tries.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised.
To be fair, Carlos, 0.01% of like a population that might be 6 to 20 million players would still be like
add more zeros. Add more zeros. Add more zeros. To what I was saying. I get what you're saying.
It would be about 10,000 people or something.
Oh God.
But Epic Game Store. I'm actually contemplating. I think you actually installed the game and you played it. I'm wondering if I should even bother.
Matt.
After 94 gigabytes of download, hell yeah, install. I started playing.
Does it still use the Rockstar Club launcher for this one?
Miguel, when have you ever heard of a video game company that makes a third-party client mandatory to the installation and playing of a game? Like when have you ever heard of them removing it?
Jesus Christ, that's the thing that I hate about Rockstar games.
That's just. You just have to hate the companies that have their own launchers in general. Because you gotta blame Ubisoft as well. Like I am going through Epic Game Store. I have to go to Uplay.
I mean,
and then
Denuvo Denuvo gets removed, but Uplay is forever.
Oh, maybe next episode I gotta Denuvo just fucked up Doom Eternal, but that's for another time.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
I remember, just to contribute to EA's many accomplishments, EA was like, we're finally coming back to Steam. After many years of being only in Origin, we're coming back to Steam, guys. And then people bought Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and it says, Origin mandatory, and fuck!
Speaking of that game that we talked about in the start of the episode, that is so expensive in Steam, it's actually pretty crazy.
2,799 pesos, guys.
I mean, the best way to buy it is
it's
from Epic Games, especially now.
Maybe they give me a better price because I'm a better customer in Steam.
Oh shit! There's a loyalty thing. Damn!
Wow.
Let me see. I gotta check this out now.
I'm just kidding.
It's 3. Oh no, that's the deluxe version. They're fooling me. But anyway, that's just really weird and
and you can get it for cheaper on the Epic Game Store.
Right.
It's at what, $5 if you ever, because you have your damn coupon, because everybody in the world now has a $10 coupon because they have GTA 5 in the Epic Game Store. Because the moment they release GTA 5, they release the Epic Game Sale, whatever it's called, and
I think the coupon is left over. I think the coupon is given to you under a variety of circumstances. Like I certainly had my.
You just buy a game.
Yeah, you just buy a game, and the thing is, I remember I spent my coupon so I could get control on discount, and then as soon as I bought it, they gave me another coupon, and I was like, well, I guess I'm buying Outer Worlds now.
And it's I think the requirement has to be a game that's $14.99 above, I think.
Yeah, and then when I got Outer Worlds, I had another coupon because of that, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do with this? I don't like any of the other games you have on the store right now.
Just keep buying and buying and buying.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. So basically, this coupon system is just to promote a vicious cycle of consumption.
But I just hate them because you see that you know that there are some games that they just don't want to make you abuse the coupon. Like there's only one game in the store right now that can do that, which is Fallen Order. Like it's literally 15.
Not to be pedantic, there's more than one, but but it's definitely not a lot. And some of the more obvious like targets. Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. I was gonna
but my point is you can see that the ones that try to avoid to make use of the coupon, like for example, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is like $14.51. I'm like, damn it, really?
Yeah. Which actually, I think it's different for our prices here, but like I have heard that the over at VG247 that Witcher 3 used to be $14.99 or $15 or something like that, and they lowered the price to $14.98.
Nice.
Just to avoid the coupon.
Nice.
Good lord.
So now you have to pay $14.98, or just don't buy it.
I mean, buy it on Steam. It's a better deal.
Yeah. On Steam, it goes for like $13 or $14.
Yeah, and you get all the expansions too, which is
every I think every 2 months it goes on sale on Steam.
Like The Witcher 3? Yeah.
Yeah, Witcher 3, yeah.
But,
so there's that.
Yeah, and I think that's about how we're going to wrap up 201, sorry? Is that...
Yeah.
Are we all good? Was that? Because there's a lot to talk about still, but we are going to reserve that for another episode of the TMG podcast.
I want to take okay, go on.
What? You want to say something?
I said
outro right now. When I start outro, there's no stopping.
I was just saying I was going to take some of the comments in the chat, but they're mostly from Miguel.
But yeah, we're gonna reserve.
We're gonna play more games for you guys.
No. I'm not gonna play games for them. I'm gonna play games for me. Sorry, but yeah, we're this is 201. We already, I think, passed the usual time, but we're definitely going to talk more because there's a lot that happened recently. We'll just talk about it next week. But yeah, especially expect more in the coming weeks, more discussions like this, and we might just have more live sessions like this on Facebook. So do check it out, and if you want to join on the discussions, do that. We have the podcast available on Spotify and Apple Podcast, and I think mostly anything in Anchor right now. So it's very easily accessible at the moment. So do check that out. And
don't forget to visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/toomuchgaming. And you can check out everything we do, everything we write, everything we post about, everything we review.
Everything.
www.toomuchgaming.net.
And yeah, and if you want to talk to Matthew, he's actually very active on Twitter.
Yeah, you can yell at me about your opinions on video games at Arcelia Matthew on Twitter.
Nice.
And I think that's about it. That's 201. Thanks for listening. And for those on chat as well, I saw a couple of comments as well. So, yeah, I think that's it. See you guys next week, and there you go. Bye.
Stay cool.
Bye. Thanks for listening.
Play another game of Legends of Runeterra right now.